What's going on today, bro?
What's up, Zach?
Not much, man. So you're part of the 2022 class. We know about a week ago, you guys can start talking to coaches. How busy have you been? What's it been like the past couple of weeks talking to all these coaches?
Lately, this past, especially the day the coaches could talk to me, was like my phone was blown up, and all week, and this week too, the coach has been persistent. They kept texting me, calling me, sending me different things in the mail. Like today, I got stuff from Seton Hall in Georgia, and they've just been like texting me graphics and all those certain things about their school. It's been really hectic, but I'm kind of glad, showing all the hard work paid off.
Absolutely. That's what I think a lot of guys talk about. I mean, I know that first night, like you said, especially, you don't really get much sleep. I know. What was that night like? Did you get a call at midnight? What was the first call you got?
Yeah, the very first call I got was from Vanderbilt at like 12:05.
Okay.
And after that, my text while I was on the call, a bunch of texts were coming in. I was because I forgot about June 15th. I was like, oh yeah, it's June 15th, and so it was pretty surprising.
And so did you get much sleep that night?
That night, I didn't get as much sleep. I stayed up kind of because I was pretty excited,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to bed pretty happy. Yeah.
And so once the call came in, was that the point you kind of realized it's June 15th, or would you kind of like the day before?
It was when I kind of knew like a couple of hours before, right? But then when the call came, I was like, yeah, this is the day they can officially talk to me. Yeah, that makes sense. Because like before, like coaches were like texting me through other people, not texting me
Mhm.
directly. And so like that was the first day they could like talk to me. Yeah.
Gotcha. And you have right now currently offers from a lot of schools, including Yale, DePaul, Providence, Iona, Brown, Ole Miss, the list goes on. What do you like about those schools?
Mm. Just how the competition level and their conferences and how most of the schools they're in their like one of their best in their conferences and have really good competition. Yeah.
And we'll talk about some of the schools that have shown interest in you as well, but I want to touch upon some of those programs. One of them is Iona, a school that a lot of guys are showing some more interest in because of the new coaching change out there. Obviously,
Mm.
having Coach Pitino status, how much of an impact, how much of an influence does that have on you as a recruit?
That actually influenced me a lot because the assistant coach called me, and he made a great point how like Rick Pitino like he's been to like four different high major programs and they all have won. Because me, I'm big on a winning culture, and Rick Pitino's trying to bring that to Iona, which I believe he can because he's starting to recruit like good players, and so like that was like that would maybe consider Iona even more. Because Iona, like literally, Iona, I live right next to Iona. I live in New Rochelle, close to New Rochelle. So
Mhm.
like I always like went to Iona games, but then when they got Rick Pitino, that was like a real game changer because he's like a winning coach.
Yeah, no, you look at Iona, probably before Rick Pitino came in, that's not a school that a lot of people probably even really heard of or really consider unless you probably live close to it. And so, having
Mhm.
a school that kind of just popping up, offering a lot of top prospects alongside yourself, what's the kind of buzz? Would
Mhm.
that be something you'd consider, especially being close to home?
Yeah, it'd be something I consider, especially being close to home. And like I said, like Rick Pitino likes to win. He knows what to do to get placed in NBA, which is my ultimate goal. And just the environment and the tools at his disposal, I feel like he can like really improve my game, and we can also win. Yeah.
And I know one of the downsides possibly to having Rick Pitino is obviously what happened at Louisville. When you see someone like a
Mhm.
program that he had past history, or someone like Oklahoma State, Kansas that's in the mix of FBI investigations, what kind of pull does that have on your recruitment? Do you still look at that as something that you consider putting into your recruitment?
No, because like that he was what he tried to do, he's trying to win. And I try to say like he's trying to get a player that's gonna win. He did anything he can to win. So like if he's not gonna do it again, but to that extent he still has like the same drive to win and passion. He just like made a mistake and
Hmm.
forget about it. You learn and you live and you learn. But that would not tarnish my view on Iona at all and his coaching.
That's awesome. And a couple other things is you have some Ivy League schools. Obviously, we talked about Yale, a couple other schools. What would it be like to possibly go to an Ivy League school that not only you can perform on the court, we also get the academic side?
That'd be really cool, really fun. Like when I'm done playing basketball, my career, I still have like a quote that coach told me was like, "You play basketball for your four, but you have to think about the for your 40." So So you have a whole like year, you have a whole life after basketball. So like I know Yale will be in the Ivy Leagues will be like a really good school to send me up for that. And mentioning the basketball, they also have good play, they have a good conference, they play great competition, and Yale especially they have that kid in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like they can produce NBA players, they can produce NBA caliber players, and they can develop me into the player I want to be. I remember I went to a Yale camp, and then we got to play against the kids, and they were really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how about off the court? What are some of the things you're considering or would maybe interest you in possibly being a career option outside of the game of basketball?
Mm-hmm. Oh, what I like to do is finance. I like finance a lot ever since I was young because my dad worked in finance. My family's sort of like surrounded by finances. Like so, I like finance. I just love finance. I like reading the Forbes magazine. I just like private equity, all that type of stuff.
Okay. And a
Yeah.
couple of the schools you have that are pretty big names, someone like Ole Miss, we know what they've been able to produce with a lot of talent, and they're having a lot of big time recruits right now.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Morrell, obviously, for this year, Deshaun Ruffin for this past class, or for 2021 class. Seeing two top players in each of their respective classes commit there, what kind of impact does that have now on your class?
The impact it has, I guess, it's a big impact because like the type of players going to the school, and so one of those players are really good players, one of those great point guards. So like I would like to play with a good point guard that's a pass first, willing to pass, and just like the history of the school is just a really top Division I program, and like I said, they produce good NBA players. Yeah.
Another one is DePaul. They also are producing a lot of players right now. Top guys, either top transfers, top players going to the pros. What's your relationship like with DePaul?
DePaul, that offer when they offered me, it came out of nowhere because what I learned throughout this recruiting process, like a lot of coaches will see you play without even knowing they like affiliated with the school. So like when DePaul offered, I instantly started to learn more about the school. I like how they played a fast tempo type of basketball, a lot of fast break. So yeah, it was a pretty good school, and their the conference is Big East.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I like the Big East conference too.
And I personally know a couple of the guys that's going there in 2021, Keon Edwards and Maud Bynum, two top 100, top 50 players. Seeing those two guys also go there, being two elite duos, now heading to DePaul, what kind of impact would that
Mhm.
have on you when you see other top guys once again going to school?
If I see a top two kids go to the school, I feel like that school is either a winning program, it's a good program, and they'll develop them into the player they want to be, which is playing to NBA players. So that like gives me a hint, like, oh, this school might be good. I should check out the school a little more and learn more about the school. And then if a lot of top players commit to one school, that means it's like a really good school. So like since two players commit to DePaul, that shows like it's a strong program. They have great competition, strong coaching staff, especially, and they must like the campus a lot. So when top players commit to certain schools, I look out for that too, and see and look for reasons why they committed.
Obviously, I mean, there's obviously a lot of these schools you really like. And when it comes time in the next couple of years to kind of start narrowing it down to whatever list you want to create, and ultimately then your commitment, what's going to go into that? What will it take for a team to make your top eight, top 10, top six, whatever you decide to narrow it down to?
Mm-hmm. So there's a three criteria. So first criteria is winning. The team has to be a winning team, has to be known for winning, has to be like dominant in their conference. And secondly is development. The team that'll develop me, a school that'll develop me into an NBA type of player. That'll develop me just not on the court, but also NBA off the court, like what to do off the court, how like it help my body, my mind, the mental game too. And then third, if I just like the place, ultimately like the surroundings, the location, and the coaching staff. Yeah, so I put all those things in consideration to every school that offer me or talks to me.
Would you say those three things are all equal to each other, or would you say that they're pretty much just all, or is one maybe bigger than the other in terms of priority?
Um, yeah, in terms of priority, I say the second one, developing players, is
Mhm.
a top priority because like a school can have one bad year and like the next year they can be really good. But if the development and the consistency of like NBA players or of NBA players coming out of the school is the same, like that'll show the development is really good. And so like yeah, the second one, the development is a priority.
Gotcha. And we know hopefully by the time you end up going through your recruiting process for real, the coronavirus is going to be gone, so you don't have to deal with the full virtual
Mhm.
visit thing that the unsigned seniors are going through, and obviously the 2021 class. But the
Mhm.
big thing for a lot of you guys are looking at staying close to home because of everything going on in America right now. when that comes time, what kind of impact does staying somewhat close to home have on you?
Um, See me, I staying close to home. I'll stay close to home, but it really depends on the school. So like if a school like St. John's is really good and they're killing it and they have a lot of good players, I'll go there. But if a school like in like Arizona is doing very well, I like the coaching staff and the surrounding areas, I might go there. So really, so location is a factor, but I wouldn't mind staying at home.
Okay, gotcha. And so we talk about the schools you have offered now. What's some of those schools that have shown interest in you or also talking to you?
I have a list, a pretty long list. UIU, Brown, Vanderbilt, VCU, Providence, Marquette, ECU, Virginia Tech, Seton Hall, Pitt, Georgia, UPenn, UNC Charlotte, UConn, Oregon, Ole Miss, Stanford, Princeton, St. John's, Michigan, Ohio, Dartmouth. Yeah, yeah. So,
That's big time. And you look at all those schools, and obviously I know you're talking to all of them, but what's some of the schools you think will probably offer you the soonest?
mm, I think Vanderbilt will because they've been in contact with me a lot. And Georgia is the head coach Tom Crean and the assistant coaches, and they send me a lot of stuff through the mail. So I think those two, and those two I really like. I would like to get offers from them too, put them in my consideration. Yeah.
And the Vanderbilt one's interesting because there is this big attracting piece of what they have in terms of coaching staff, and that's having a guy
Mm-hmm.
that coached in the NBA, did something I know you want to do someday. When you see
Mm-hmm.
a coach like him or many other coaches across the country that played in the NBA, what does that kind of appeal have to you?
So like, if a head coach plays in the NBA, like Jerry Stackhouse, he played a long time in the NBA, so he knows what to do to win and like how to like last in the NBA. Because I was talking to one of the coaches, they said the main thing is because interesting, because all the coaches have a has a what do I say like an effect with the NBA, has been in contact with the NBA, like all of them have been in the NBA type of coaching or like player development. So I think they told me like they were one of the first staffs to have an entire NBA affiliated
Mm-hmm.
program. So like it really shows me how like they know what to do just on the court, what I need to do on the court, and what I need to do off the court too. So that's a big factor too. It's a very appealing school because of that.
Gotcha. And when you look at other guys about possibly teaming up with someone, I know a lot of guys like the idea of playing with someone they play with in high school, club, or just a friend they have. Is there anyone you're talking to about possible that you'd like possibly teaming up with in college?
No, not really, not right now.
Yeah.
Because I guess not right now, but probably later in the future, I probably will team up with a high school teammate or someone I seen a lot in camps and stuff in high school. Yeah.
So let's kind of jump in now to your high school career. I mean, you start off, obviously, your freshman year, you make the move, you transfer to where you're at now for your sophomore year. But that freshman year, take us through how it was adjusting to high school life and starting to really develop into who you are.
Freshman year, I went to Brunswick, and Brunswick was it was a good school, really good, strong school academically. And basketball was it was pretty. Our basketball was all right. And it's like the main thing was this, adjusting to the academic life because it was pretty difficult. But throughout the year, I got the hang of it, and then combining with the basketball season and the AAU season, it was pretty difficult at first. But then I just continued to just do my work, stay focused, limit distractions. Yeah, so it was just basically as time went on, I just got better with both basketball and school.
And we know, as I said, you make the big move following that year to where you're at now in your sophomore season. What went into the
Mhm.
decision? Why'd you decide to transfer, obviously, now to where you're at?
The reason I decided to transfer because I felt like I could play at a higher competition and play against more difficult players and play on a stage that's much bigger. And I feel like I was ready for that. And then Vermont Academy specifically, Coach Pope came to one of my AAU games. He became a lot of interest in me, and he took a step with me, and he continued to like text me, call me, see how I was doing off the court, and so that relationship was a really key. And then also like their track history of he has like two NBA, three NBA players right now, a bunch of D1 players like that. That's where I want to be. So I feel like I can trust in him to get me to the place I want to be.
Without a doubt. And one of those guys that you just said are in the NBA is Bruce Brown. And you did something
Mm-hmm.
that only he's ever done in the program before, and that's to start as a sophomore in the school. And you not only did that, I mean, you put up incredible numbers all year. What was it like kind of getting this opportunity only as a sophomore and blowing up this past year?
It was really fun, but a lot of work was put into it because in the beginning of the season, we had a lot of plays, and I was really having a difficult time. But my older teammates took their time and taught me through it, were patient with me. And then also like when we're not in practice, when I had like a free, instead of like staying in my room, I'll go to the gym and get some shots up, just continue to work. And then Pope gave me a chance, and I just took that chance, took the opportunity.
And this is something that a lot of guys are starting to do, and that's play the national schedule, play at a prep school kind of feeling. What's it like living this lifestyle, almost as if you're a college kid, only as a sophomore in high school?
Yeah, it was actually in the beginning. It was actually a lot of games. Yeah, a lot of back to backs. It was very fun. It was very fun. Like it was very fun. The camaraderie through our teammates were always together, and it was very fun. Very rewarding too when you play a long tournament, and then you win the tournament or you play a good game. Like we played Woodstock. Like we lost by one, but that was a tough game, but it was a fun game at the same time. So like when I play like high competition, I played to their level, play higher. My overall competitiveness gets higher. So it's really fun to play that type of schedule.
And you come away averaging 16 points per game, 5 rebounds per game. What's the next jump for you next year? What number do you think you're capable of putting up for next season?
Uh, I can get like next year probably 20 points and like a couple more rebounds, like 7, 8 rebounds. But mainly my 3 point percentage is probably going to go up a lot more in this next coming year because I've been working on that a lot more.
Would you say 3 point shooting would be the biggest thing you kind of locked in on during this whole quarantine time?
Yeah, yeah. Because once I get that, once I affect that, once I bring out my range, it's like I feel like I'm unstoppable. And
Mm-hmm.
then yeah,
I know you want to probably prove a lot of this stuff, get an opportunity to even blow up more in the AU season this year. We know obviously that couldn't happen because of Corona stuff, at least at this point. What were you wanting to prove though? What was the biggest goal you wanted to have set for yourself if you were able to play AU this year?
what I want to prove is that like I just want to I can do it. I can do it all. I can play defense. I can score. I can assist. I can grab rebounds. Do it all. I wanted to get my name out there a lot more. Like my name is out here on the East Coast, but I want to get it nationally out there and like get other people to know my name and get just show off my talents. Yeah.
That's big time, man. And I know another thing that's important to you is obviously your faith. I know you tweet about that and you talk about that. How has God kind of helped get you to the point you're at today?
Repeat your question. I didn't
Yeah.
hear it.
I know you obviously talk about faith before a lot in your Twitter posts and stuff. I mean, how has God
Mhm.
helped get you to the point you're at today?
Oh, but ever since I was young, my family's been big on trusting the Lord and everything that He does, and so I just trust in Him. Whatever His will be done. And my parents, my mom, my dad, just continue to tell me to have faith in Him, and then He'll do His magic. He'll do His work.
Amen, man. And I mean, obviously, you still have a bright future. You're going to have a bigger and bigger spotlight as you continue to develop. How do you kind of plan to be able to use that, be able to still shine God's light throughout all of it?
I just every time I get like an offer or any award, I publicly say I thank the Lord. God bless me with all these abilities, stuff like that, just to show other people that the Lord's blessed me with this gift.
That's awesome, man. My last thing before I let you go is ultimately you want to be able to build a legacy for yourself, both what you accomplish on the court and also what you do for the community off the court. What do you want to be remembered for by the time you end up walking away from this game someday in the future?
Um, Off the court, I want to be remembered as a good player, good student, good. I want to be remembered as like a kid that was respectful, and a kid that played hard, but a kid that was not afraid to share his faith, to spread the word of God, and also a kid that like could do it all, get every bucket, get every rebound, play defense. So just a do it all type of player like LeBron. I want to be like legacy, be like LeBron, help his community, and not like overly selfish and like a nice person in public too. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Well, I'm definitely excited to see what God's got in store for you, man. Keep being the light.
Thank you. Thank you, Zach.
Anytime, man. You always welcome on, bro. God bless.
You too.